Please welcome the Chief Communications and Marketing Officer of the United Nations Foundation, Sherinian.
Hey guys, on behalf of the UN Foundation, I come here with a message. Somebody's talking about you. How do you feel when you hear that? That somebody is talking about you? Well, it's not just any somebody. It is the world leaders, the group of people who represent the world, their countries, over 190 leaders who have put together a to-do list for our planet. Your work is part of this. You're living in a time when, for the first time perhaps in history, we can say we've got a to-do list to take care of those things that your grandparents and your parents and everyone in your lineage said, let's take care of. Hunger, poverty, inequality, opportunity. The world's got a to-do list. They're called the global goals. And they have been written with all of you in mind because you are the future. The global goals were adopted by the United Nations last year, and we are looking forward to 2030. We're looking forward to a 2030 where innovators like you, entrepreneurs like you, people who are driven because they know that they've been born at a time when we've got the technology, we've got the tools, and you've got the guts to get it done. The global goals for sustainable development will lead us to a 2030 through 17 lanes, a highway of 17 lanes for innovation, where if you deeply care about how the world will get its next meal, and if you deeply care about girls and women around the world, you'll bring the projects to the world leaders that they can take to scale. That's the promise of an Enactus community like you. That's the promise of what we've heard from you, what we've seen, and what we need from you. Let me tell you a story. I have a daughter. She's about 11, and the other day I took her to a concert. I thought I was the cool dad. Taking my daughter to a concert, I had no idea who was on stage, but she loved it. And in the middle of the concert, they started talking about the fact that climate change impacts people around the world. They talked about the fact that girls around the world don't have the opportunity to go to school in every country. They talked about the fact that here in the United States, people still go hungry before they go to bed. And my daughter turns to me and she says, "Dad, you're like 90? What have you been doing all this time? Why aren't you taking care of this?" But her last two questions were the most important. She said, "What are we doing about it? And how are we going to know it's working?" We live in an era where we've got the measurement. You've got the tools, and you can make sure that my daughter's question is answered from a community like this. So I'm going to go back to Julia, and I'm going to tell her the answer, because the Sustainable Development Goals, these indicators, are our roadmap. You're the people who are making sure that it happens. I'm going to go back and tell Julia that I met the future. I met the innovators. I met the people who've got the guts and the tools to get the job done. I've met the people who are helping us create a better world. Congratulations, and thank you to all of you.